Coming up on Mountain News at 6, a Wayne County deputy has been shot in the line of duty. We hope to have a live report from the scene. And another family in Magoffin County is concerned about their property following the expansion of the Mountain Parkway.
Plus, we are tracking some improvements in the forecast to start the spring season. Your forecast coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
We continue to follow breaking news in Wayne County tonight. A standoff is underway after a deputy was shot in the line of duty. WYMT's Phil Pendleton just arrived on the scene a short time ago. We understand the deputy's injuries are not life-threatening. Let's go to Phil now with the very latest. Phil?
Kelsey and Bill, we just got here about 15 minutes ago. There is a very active scene taking place behind me. That is likely a very large understatement based on the number of police cruisers that are behind me and more than I can see. We see cars like this one coming and going. The 15-20 minutes that I've been here, I have seen that. Now, this all started earlier this afternoon when a deputy sheriff was serving papers. Law enforcement in this area tell me the deputy's vest simply saved his life, but it could have been a much different situation had the bullet come an inch in either direction. That deputy is said to be in his 30s. He's married with children. He is on his way to a Tennessee hospital for precautionary reasons only. They say that he has some swelling in his chest, but other than that, he's likely going to recover completely. Now, in the meantime, this situation is far from over. Told the suspect has barricaded himself inside. We don't know much about that person, why this has taken place, what exactly the warrant was that was being served, but the special response team is here. Again, it is safe to say that it's a very tense, active situation that is going to be going on for quite some time. We are told that Kentucky State Police public affairs officers, two of those, actually two public relations officers, are going to be coming here. And usually in situations we just talk to one, but this is such an intense situation, they are sending two, and those are actually coming from other posts outside of this area. So again, a very intense situation. We're still trying to gather details. We're going to have a whole lot more later on this evening, but for now, live in Wayne County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
All right, Phil, thank you very much. And we'll, of course, keep you updated on this still developing story on WYMT.com and the WYMT News app. And, of course, we'll have the latest tonight at 11 as well. A Johnson County woman is dead after her SUV went off the road and into a river. Troopers at KSP Post 9 were notified about a missing person yesterday afternoon. An investigation was launched after family members became concerned when they realized 52-year-old Vanessa Crum of Van Leer did not report to work. Crum's SUV went off the road and over an embankment into the Leviza Fork River. She was pronounced dead by the Pike County Coroner's Office. An Ohio man is behind bars after police say they found him hiding under a camper in Pike County. The situation happened yesterday when KSP troopers asked 38-year-old Thomas Jervis to pull over during a traffic checkpoint. Police say Jervis ended up taking off on them at a high rate of speed. Officers say Jervis passed several cars on a one-lane road. They later found Jervis pulling into a driveway and running behind a home. Jervis was taken to the Pike County Detention Center. In Laurel County, a London man is behind bars after police say he assaulted an officer. It happened last Friday when officers tried to pull over 34-year-old Christopher Philpott. Officers began chasing Philpott after he got away from them, turning into a field before leaving his vehicle. Philpott ended up getting into an altercation, reportedly grabbing and striking an officer multiple times. Philpott was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. One of the high-profile bills in Frankfort this legislative session is inching its way closer to Governor Beshear's desk. House Bill 5 is a wide-sweeping crime bill, also known as the Safer Kentucky Act. It would reform criminal justice in the Commonwealth. Analysts at the Kentucky Center for Economic Policy say much of the data being cited in support of the bill is actually outdated.
The statistics that the sponsors of the bill have been talking about are the statistics that happened during the COVID crisis.
Data from the FBI shows violent crimes in Kentucky dropped by 19%. from 2020 to 2022. The Commonwealth has remained below the national average as far back as 2012. In 2022, Kentucky's rate of violent crimes was 56% lower than the national rate. There are just 8 days total left in the General Assembly session, and it's believed the Republican-dominated legislature will leave time to deal with any vetoes that Governor Beshear makes to the bills they have passed. The long to-do list still includes passing a budget. The Senate and House plans differ right now, and that will have to be worked out. It remains to be seen if the legislature will address child care. There's a $300 million proposal called the Horizons Act, but it has not been moving so far. Breathitt County High School is offering a law enforcement pathway for students. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox tells us how students have become engaged.
The program continues to grow.
When I started, I had 10 kids. As of today, I think I've got 103 in my program out of the 765 kids we got in the school system.
Spicer says they have discussions about different cases in the past.
Experiences and stuff I share with them. And I think that's the interest of them, is like some of the kids that I've got, I like to hear the funny stories or the sad stories.
They have hands-on exercises as well, including a field sobriety test. I went through the test myself. What? This is driving me nuts. I can't walk.
Go get the handcuffs,
Traffic stops are not the only thing they learn about.
There's so many jobs that you can have in law enforcement, you know, like you said, dispatcher, or I mean, you can be a detective, or you can just be like a patrol guy or whatever. I just think there's so many opportunities.
Opportunities to have an idea about what they want as a career before graduating.
That's what I've wanted to do since I was little, but this class definitely helped a lot.
Turner and Bird both say they want to be state troopers. In Breathitt County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Teacher Kenneth Spicer says they will be introducing a criminal law class next year. We are learning more about a fire that happened this afternoon at a Letcher County school. Officials with Letcher Elementary and Middle say it happened in the library a little after 3 p.m. The fire was put out with only minor damage, we're told, in the library, but officials say there will be no classes on Tuesday due to the cleanup. Again, this is Letcher Elementary and Middle. No classes on Tuesday due to fire cleanup in the library.
We are tracking some chilly weather as we go into this evening. Also possibly a few sprinkles or snow flurries across the mountains on this March evening. Up on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler, we are tracking this weak weather system. Now we do have some dry air in our region, so I do think most of this is evaporating before it hits the ground, but we could still possibly see a few snow flurries as we go into this evening from West Liberty, pushing into Paintsville for Johnson County, also in the Cumberland Valley from London to Corbin, also over to Mount Vernon and Rockcastle County at this hour as well. The bigger story, though, we are cold. Current temperatures are well below average. We should be close to 60. Most of us are barely above freezing at this hour. And once the sun sets, we see some well below freezing weather. Lows back in the middle 20s as a hard freeze is on the way this evening. So be sure to protect those plants if you have those in the ground. But some better news, we see some more near average weather by the middle of this week. Also some more sunshine as early as tomorrow. More details on your Tuesday forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thanks. The Mountain Parkway expansion is in its final phases, hoping to plant some industry and infrastructure in the region. But one family is concerned with what its final phase is asking them to dig up. WYMT's Buddy Forbes explains.
Short Fork Road has been the Cole family's gathering place and safe space for more than 60 years.
Just to take the land is hurtful, you know, because our grandpa worked hard, you know, to buy this property, and we make the memories.
With generations of family members taking their first steps in their little corner of Salyersville. Until now, with the Mountain Parkway expansion claiming their comfort.
No amount of money is worth losing the place that we can come back to call home.
The family says they have pleaded with those in charge to find another way to build without buying their home place, saying their land will not be part of the new road, but the current path will cut off the only entrance they have, so they've been asked to sell.
Even if we sign today, 90 days is not enough to even prepare to go through what they're asking our family to go through.
Still, it is not the memories coming to the surface they are most passionate about. It is the idea of bringing the family's matriarch back to the surface.
When somebody passes away, all you have left is their gravesite.
Their mother, Patricia Cole, was buried on the Hillside Cemetery in December of 2022.
We have to sort through, our old memories of our mom. So it's going to be like, reliving it.
Since Cole was the first to be buried on the cemetery, the family says they were not offered the same consideration as other area cemeteries.
That is supposed to be our family cemetery. That's where he's supposed to be buried. Me and my sisters and our children and our husbands, that's supposed to be ours.
But they say moving their mother from her current resting place feels like dishonoring her memory.
Most of all, I am fighting for it because I do not want my mother moved. That's what my mom wanted. That's her last dying wish. Don't take that from us.
As they pray for someone to step in. In Magoffin County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The family says they have requested an underpass or exit ramp to keep their home and their mother's honor in place, saying they want to hold out until a little hope is offered. March Madness is set to begin later this week in the NCAA tournament. Many of the games, including Kentucky's first one right here on WYMT. And we want to tell you about our bracket contests that you can participate in. Basketball Mayhem is coming back. Scan the QR code on your screen and submit your bracket for a chance to win an iPad sponsored by Appalachian Wireless, a big screen television, and a Food City gift card. You can submit your bracket up until 15 minutes before the first tournament game Thursday. For more on the contest and the rules, visit WYMT.com.
Well, we are tracking some cold weather as we go into this evening, but some improvements are on the way. Those details coming up.